that we Europeans in the north need to prepare for a possible, potential African rise in terms of technology and therefore also in terms of military capacity. And that means we in Europe need to already start looking ahead and thinking ahead about how we are going to win the war against Africa, because there will be a future war between Europe and Africa.
Some of you especially, and sadly some of the youth of Africa, you think some of us using the media advocating for the freedom and unity of Africa, we don't have anything to do with our lives. We just want to trend. Listen, we are trying to wake you guys up because we are awake and we can see the enemy approaching gradually. If you can understand English, this man is telling you about possible war against Africa. Our leaders know the real enemy of Africa is not the devil. As we are trying so hard to accommodate these people, they are thinking of controlling us, preparing and thinking about possible war against Africa. We Africans, we see these guys as our friends, but they don't see us as friends. They see us as potential enemy, potential threat. If you don't take them, what happened to our forefathers 500 years ago will befall us or the next generation coming. Now let me show you how these guys are approaching gradually. They already have their military bases surrounding us in Africa. Even Ghana is having one. Now let me ask the Ghana government. It is no news that in dealing with the West, Africa is restricted from having access to certain weapons, even if we have money to pay for it. Ibrahim Traore said this in his interview. Now, the very people who don't want you to have access to certain weapons, these people are here with weapons through the narrative of securing you against terrorists, the narrative of training your soldiers to have good military capability. And you puppet leaders cannot ask them, if you truly want us to have the military capability, why restrict us from having access to certain military weapons? And I'm very surprised about Ghana. Ghana, you have the slave castle right here under your nose, but you quickly forgot the past and the enemy you are supposed to guard yourself against. The same enemy is present on the land with weapons to secure you. Very funny. As the youth of Africa are busy on the media fighting over Ghana jollof, Nigeria jollof, South Africa jollof, you come to the media, you see our young, vibrant young men. You see them in skirt and top, holding ladies back. What are they doing? They are creating comedy content with lipstick on. We are doing all these things and the enemy is approaching gradually. What the West is doing in Africa is a gradual process to recolonize and reclaim Africa like they did in the past. And this time is to occupy the land of Africa. Let me show you 3 things make a nation: the military or the security, the government, and the citizens. These 3 things make a nation. Now you have their military bases on the land, that's their security. You have their embassies on the land, which signify their governance authority on the land. Now you have their citizens going around buying our lands. The next thing that is remaining is for them to pick up weapons and start fighting us, like what Israel is doing in the Middle East. It is happening in South Africa, a town called Oriana, where white occupy that land, claiming to be the white descendant of Africa. They are advocating to be independent in someone's country. That is another Middle East Israel germinating. A newer version of Palestine and Israel germinating over the upcoming genocide on the way. Wait and watch. If worse come to worse, the West will provide them with weapons to fight South Africans. And let me say this again. I don't have time, energy, data to start creating free South Africa content because we are not yet done with free Palestine and free Congo content. So if the South Africa government can do something about that upcoming danger, they should do it quickly by chasing those guys out of the land before it is too late. Because that day will surely come. You know, every country know their enemy. Russia know her enemy, China know her enemy, North Korea know her enemies. All of them know their enemies. And they are preparing against this enemy. But guess what is happening to Africa? Africa's enemy is the most reliable partner of Africa. And up to now, can't you all see that the West doesn't want anything good for Africa? They are only interested in our raw material. They are suffocating our economy, dictating to us. Look at what is happening in the Sahel. Those guys are breaking chains. But the rest of Africa countries are trapped in the same chains of the enemy, now pointing fingers at their brothers instead of joining them to break the chain. Africa, we need to wake up. These guys don't have good intention towards us.